Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. It's 10:45, and we'd like to invite up to the table Auditor Duenkel.
Good morning, Commissioner Tarswell. Good morning, Commissioner Netherland.
Good morning.
Let's see, do we have Commissioner Trask online? So I'm here today to share some good news, some big news regarding reorganization of the Auditor's Office. After 20 years of excellent service, Marie Stevenson is taking a job with Lewis County to be the recording deputy. She's my current chief deputy. And it's a really good thing for Marie. I'm extremely happy for her. With that, starting today, Casey Flatiger will now serve as chief deputy auditor. And Casey has 15 years of experience in elections, recording, licensing, and passport service, and Casey is absolutely great. Marie is committed to a smooth transition with Casey and make sure everything gets handed off properly and smoothly. And then with that, and the next change is that Susan Blankenship is retiring after 26 years. Wow. That's a long run, 26 years in elections. So with that, we're going to be filling Susan's position as Assistant Elections Administrator internally. So with moving Casey out of her place with the recording licensing team with her promotion, I'm taking the opportunity to work with Human Resources to reorganize the licensing and recording department by eliminating the licensing and recording manager's position with the following objectives. One, we should be able to save an estimated $90,000 a year salary differential plus benefits. We don't include the benefits in there. For the county, and then with that, flatten the organization from 4 levels of reporting structure to 2, which I think is really going to help us get better focus on process improvements and cross-training and accountability. And third, this is my way of doing my part to help address our non-compliant situation with our reserve policy in the general fund and not have to lay anybody off. So we should have one position to backfill that will likely be in the elections department with elections technician. We'll have that finalized with HR later this week. And then the net benefit will be taking the auditor's office from 15 full-time equivalents down to 14. Any questions?
You just need to correct one thing. We are not in non-compliance with our policy.
I'm not sure I agree with you on that. It depends on.
Be happy to discuss it.
Yeah, it depends on which part you're talking about. For the full policy, what we had set for.
I was talking about the reserve policy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be between 15 and 25%. We are well above 15%.
Okay.
That's between.
That's where we were at
15 and
when we
25.
last formally visited it in our finance committee meeting.
Yeah, I haven't seen the numbers for this month, but when we did look at it from when it started down to 18, it was an issue. And once you fall below, it's not something that changes. You either stay above or you don't. So when you fall below,
Well,
you just go.
I get the spending part. The problem is, we should be truthful what the policy says. I can pull it up.
No,
It says you need to be between 15 and 25%.
I've got it right here if you guys want to reference it.
Don't need to. I
Okay.
signed it. I know what it says.
Very good. Anyways,
One other question. One of the retirement dates and
June 15th.
when is Marie leaving?
June 15th.
Both of them,
Yep.
same time. Okay,
Well,
just curious.
it's good though that we're thinking ahead, because I would rather not lay people off as we start to have these things, and I appreciate you stepping forward, because I know you and I have had discussions that I'm nobody, but when the time comes, we are gonna be asking, without
Yeah.
a doubt. I've been saying that for a while, and it makes it a little easier.
It's true. We've been talking about this for quite some time, and the need for the auditor's office to be part of an overall county restructuring by coming down with in staffing by 1, and this creates a perfect opportunity for me to do it with nobody getting laid off.
It'd be nice if others would do, I'm just putting this out, not to you now, it's to the world. It'd be nice if others would consider the same thing and bring us some of their ideas and stuff on how to get there. It makes it easier on us than having to make some of these decisions. Even when the time comes though, if we do it according to past, we'll try not to make those decisions. We try to put it on the departments with
Sure.
their recommendations and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
they have to run their departments.
yeah.
No argument
Yeah,
there.
imagine us trying to decide all of it for them. That would not be the smartest thing we've ever did.
So thank you for your time, appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. With that, community development. Probably both Kell and Marissa, but
Yep. It's both of us.
good morning.
Morning. Okay, let's see, glasses.
And you are?
My name is Kell Jean Rowen.
Oh, I
I
didn't
live
know
in-
that part.
Yeah, Kelly Jean, after my grandmother.
And your role in this county?
Well, I am the Community Development Director, and I have with me,
I'm Marissa Watson, a senior planner with Long Range Planning.
Thank you very much.
and we have 4 items for you this morning. But I'm gonna start it off with asking a question that Mariah wanted me to remember to do. And that is, I know you had a scheduled interview with a planning advisory commission member, and then I think he wasn't feeling well and left. Is that rescheduled? Or no,
No.
or?
From my understanding, it was, he just was, due to health reasons,
Oh.
he just couldn't, period.
Oh, okay. I didn't know
So
about
does
that.
that mean he is pulled out as an applicant?
I believe so.
Okay. Now, we do have another one, so we'll brief next Monday and have for another interview.
I
Huh?
can certainly try to reach out just to confirm.
Just to confirm? Okay, that'd be good. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. All right. Now I briefed on the, let me get to the correct one here.
Granting variances.
The variances. Is that not, oh, because it's on the backside. Yes, 3 other times. So, I have briefed on the issue of the administrative variances, and we were going to require surveys. And then we came up with the idea of doing an affidavit in lieu of, like, if you don't do a survey, then do this affidavit in lieu. And then maybe find some markers. And all kinds of discussions have come up between staff, and then Scott Rudy, our senior planner, or our lead planner, and I met with Tim Whitehead. And he had concerns over the affidavit in lieu, same concerns that Scott was having. So after that big discussion, we've decided that we are going to, rather than this whole thing, which could open up all kinds of fun stuff, we've decided that we are going to change the development regulations to allow the 5-foot minimum setbacks for side yards, 10 feet for front and rear. Just leave it at that. We always encourage people to get surveys. It's probably the most important purchase of their life is their property. And so to get surveys, that's on you, but we're not going to require that, make that a requirement. And I don't, and if you're interested, I could go into the details that we discussed with Tim Whitehead, but I don't think it matters. We're just at a later date, and probably to coincide with all of the development and resource ordinance updates that Marissa's already working on. We'll just make those changes, plug it in there, and go from there. So,
Well, that took care of my concerns. My concern was all about the cost of actually having a surveyor, when you can get one and everything else.
so we're gonna cancel the hearing for next Tuesday,
Okay.
and we can just say we've changed our minds. Never mind.
So now, did we table it to a certain date?
We did, till June 9th.
229.
But if we tabled it. then-
We might have to have the hearing
Yeah,
to and
that's what-
cancel
I
it.
just wanna make sure that
Yeah.
we do things
And-
appropriately. We
yeah,
have the
that's
hearing,
fine.
And we just, but add into whatever information we're putting out there, that we are changing it
Yeah.
to cancel.
Yep.
Moving forward with the adjustment.
Yep.
Check, did we open the hearing and then?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I
Okay.
will be there, okay? And the next item is Planning Advisory Commission meeting time. So, typically, staff-wise, it's Marissa, myself, and Mariah, so there's, two staff, that are getting overtime or, flex. But we polled the, planning commission members and they would like to change the time to 5 p.m.
I'm supportive.
And yeah, so it's
I am
just,
too.
yeah, it just closes that
We're
gap.
just gonna simple it out.
Yeah.
'Cause
And we
right,
just, we have the Zoom option for folks,
Yep.
so people could still attend in a variety of ways, and that just closes an hour gap that we don't have to,
You don't have to
kill.
wait around for it.
And Mariah did all of the, whatever needs to happen as far as, I guess, section 2, I don't know. I think that's all we need is your guys' permission, and that's it.
Yeah, I think actually it says in there that it falls to me to
Okay,
approve it, so.
You're good.
I'm good.
awesome.
Everybody's, if the pack is good with it, you guys are good with it.
Yep,
That's-
But you need to require, I don't know if the county does, if it was a port or whatever, we have to record it with the state, the one that keeps track of all our meetings, because we, for example, the county, we have it established for 3 days for our meetings officially, so we don't wanna have the special meetings. You probably, with the registrar, the state registrar, you might wanna just find out if you have to announce that with them.
okay.
Maybe you don't, but in case you do, because these are official meetings.
Okay, that'll be a Mariah thing. All right, then I've got a rezone, and then it'll be followed up by Marissa's. So I am asking to put on the June 9th action agenda to set a public hearing for July 7th, if that is a board. I think that would be a board meeting. Tuesday, to set a public hearing for a rezone. This is a down zone from rural commercial 2 to rural residential 10, which is the surrounding. So historically, there was a business there. It's no longer, and it's just been in residential property. And so
Is this at the request of the landowner?
this is actually at the request of the assessor's office. So the assessor's office contacted me. This applicant qualified for one of the tax programs, but it does need to be residential.
In order to qualify for this, so it is at the request of the property owner then?
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
via,
Indirectly.
Yeah, I just don't wanna,
Indirectly.
because they lose value if
that's
they do
true,
that,
yeah,
and
so
I
no,
wouldn't
at the
wanna-
request of the,
I'm good.
at the request of the owners, but I decided to do it as a county-owned,
Yep, nope, I
given
get-
the
save them-
situation,
Save them money,
so,
and,
yeah.
yep, I'm with you.
I
Okay.
spoke with the homeowner and he says, I didn't request this. It's like, what's going on? So he was here this morning and I said, talk to the assessor would be the
Yeah.
first place and then.
Well, let's find out
Okay,
if he,
so
yeah,
I-
let's find out if he wants it, because I don't wanna take away
Okay.
his property value.
Yeah,
It's something
I was
that he
under the
bought.
impression that the applicant
Well,
knew their
he may
property.
not know he can't
Okay.
go into open space with it being in,
Well, this one's not
It's-
open space.
It wasn't open space, it was a
Which
different,
It was a commercial.
no, but what's he trying to get into to get the tax break?
it's, I wrote down the term that the assessors gave me.
He didn't come back, so. we have to
Senior,
do
senior
others.
citizens and persons with disabilities exemption from real property
Oh,
taxes.
Those have to be residentially zoned to get that?
According to the assessor. So I will confirm that the property owner is aware. I assumed via the assessor, but you know
Yeah.
what that
Let's
means.
double check that, because
He
I don't
didn't know
wanna,
anything about it.
I don't wanna force it on anybody, because,
Yeah, I agree with that, so I will definitely check. I'll go ahead and still put it on the action agenda. I will pull it if indeed the person.
so if it's already zoned that way, it doesn't have to have it on there for 2 years either, so it's exempt from the 2-year window.
My understanding through the assessor's office, it was Sherry I talked to, in order to get the exemption, the tax exemption, they'd have to be zoned residentially.
Yeah,
So I will confirm that with them, but also talk to the property owner and make sure they understand, because if they can't get the tax relief maybe they're fine with the
Yeah.
rezone.
And if they know they could lose the value of it, what's it registered as now?
RC2.
So rural commercial two
And it's
has a
surrounded
much
by.
higher value.
Yeah, than our
And
R10.
it's-
That's
Yeah.
what he said, what's this
Yeah.
gonna do to my property taxes? Well, probably reduce them, but I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say for sure.
But boy, if I was
Well,
gonna
it would
resell it,
be-
I would like to resell, rural commercial too.
Okay.
But that's
I'll
not,
get
it's not,
upstairs
not our
after
call.
this.
If he's asking for it, I'm for it. If he wants it, if he wants to lose the value on his property so he can save on taxes, get down with the bad self.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so we're moving ahead with the
Yes.
public hearing, or you want us to delay?
Well, I mean, I'll put it on the action agenda, cause it's, you know, I'll move it for action agenda, but in the meantime, I will know prior to to next Tuesday on
We
whether
can
or not
remove
we're
it
gonna
if we
move,
need to.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yep, and that's all I've got.
Okay. Well, I have another rezone, and it is same dates that she was talking about, hoping to get the public hearing on the, or request for a public hearing on next week's agenda, and the hearing date would be July 7th as well. And so the applicant is Renee Salazar, his agent is Len Williams, and the parcel's in the Shelton UGA. It's a 10.75 acre parcel, and he's requesting 2.26 acres to be rezoned. And currently, the zoning is mixed use, and he's hoping to rezone to the general commercial. The PAC heard the case at their May 18th meeting, and they were all in favor for the proposal as presented by the applicant and staff. We didn't have any public testimony or written comment, and just hoping to get that on the agenda schedule.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with that. In both cases, it was 3 votes for, it's like in a 7-member board, are we running into any issues there? I know the chair doesn't vote when there's not a tie, so they have the quorum, but, you know, it's like, okay. I was just raised a question, it's like, if only 5 people show up, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Where's this at?
Shelton UGA, off Olympic Highway South.
Right as Highway 3 comes around the corner and just about hooks up with 101.
Yeah,
You know where the old Dell?
yeah,
Okay, so across the road from Dell.
oh, okay. Okay. Well, I was trying to see think of what was connected to general commercial that's right next to it, that they were,
There's
that's alongside, yeah.
here,
That one
there's
right
a,
there. So they're the orange, they're the one in
Yeah.
orange, right there.
there's
This
a,
is-
there's a general commercial right there.
Okay.
Is it red, general commercial?
And red's, all that red
Oh,
is general
yeah.
commercial.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
sorry,
Yep.
I probably used the wrong one.
Okay. So close to the city. I'm surprised if they didn't show up or have any issue with it, then,
So he actually requested another rezone back in 2021 for this parcel. It used
Yeah.
to be neighborhood residential. He requested the whole thing for mixed use. And he had a proposal, same project kind of, but it had a residential component to it. And I think he found out over the years that wasn't gonna work
Yeah.
for what he was doing. And we did
so I
talk.
had seen this before,
Yeah.
and that's what,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that's why I'm stuck, I'm trying, but now the pieces are falling together.
And so the city is more, they were more, I think they were better aligned with it being general commercial than like
Yep, and, well, if
industrial.
they're not in there complaining
Yeah.
about it, then they are, cause they have their own people,
So.
and our people were for it, and it makes sense to me then. I thought that, some of this was sticking in me, I was trying to figure it out, and it does make more sense now, yeah.
2021, yeah.
Okay,
But,
So, I support it.
Yes,
okay. I do want to give a reminder that our office is closed all day tomorrow, so our phones will be shut down. We let the front desk staff know that we're closed for training. And our 5th annual mac and cheese off. which I'm very excited about. So,
Kraft probably doesn't cut it.
hey, I bought a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese because it had jalapenos in it, and that is what I'm bringing.
Really?
Yeah.
I actually like Kraft macaroni and cheese.
I do too, but it's,
Jalapenos
doesn't-
are
And
bad.
I don't feel
Doesn't-
guilty
Hey,
about it.
if
doesn't
it
compete
has
with homemade.
jalapenos in it, I buy it and try it.
I don't know, I've had a lot of homemade that I would much rather have Kraft macaroni and cheese. I had no money growing up, so I would mix with eggs in the morning. If you haven't done it, a little
Oh,
bit.
hey, I grew up with no
Yeah.
money too, and you know what I used to do?
Uh,
Stale hot dog buns,
Yeah.
mustard, and sprinkle some soup mix on it.
Mine was mayonnaise sandwiches.
Then all
Yeah.
mac and cheese tastes
But no,
good after
that
that.
mac and cheese with scrambled with eggs in the morning and a little bit of Parmesan on it. Oh,
Sounds good.
it actually really is. Try
I
it.
better get home and start making my mac and cheese now, so I could win.
Sounds like Randy has an entry for the mac and cheese.
Yep.
I don't see Dave, so I'm assuming that
Dave.
you're up.
Dave, his father passed away. I just gotta, yeah, but no, it just showed up on while we were in the room. I was gonna mention, but I forgot.
Morning.
Morning, Commissioners. I'm Ian Tracy, Environmental Health Manager.
Thank you.
Melissa and Casey. Now that we're doing full names.
It's really
Community
that
Health
I
Manager.
just can't remember your names, so that's what it's all about.
You're so forgettable, huh?
Yeah, Dave can't be here today. So I've got the first item. We received a request, this is definitely a strange one for me. We received a request to reduce or waive a lien. This is a solid waste code enforcement lien. The original code enforcement cases began back in 2007. And then in 2008, the case escalated to the hearing examiner, and the hearing examiner put forth a judgment where they liened $7,584. And then the way the interest accrues with the treasurer's office, it's basically 1% per month. And so they levied that lien back in 2008, 1% per month since then. The total owed now is $23,889.60. And this one was originally pretty frantic, driven by a home sale. The homeowners were telling us that it was too much money. They weren't going to be able to sell their home. They were trying to move, and they wouldn't be able to do it. The situation has changed since I put this briefing forward, and it's stranger now. They have, I guess, technically paid the lien, but the lien is being held by the treasurer in a trust account until the board can make a decision on whether they want to collect the lien or not. So they do have the money to pay the lien because we have it now. And I had talked to Tim about this, and Tim's take on this and recommendation is to not change anything. We have a lien, we have the money, we should just collect the money. And this money, according to our code, is money that would go to a solid waste abatement fund and would be able to use for solid waste work. But we brought it before you.
So these folks contacted me, and I know my initial was, they wanted to get it done before the property closes. Like, I don't have the authority to do that. And they said, well, we were told you do. I said, well, then you were told wrong. And hopefully, they said, they called and they said, all they needed is for me to sign a letter. I hope you never said that, because I don't have authority to do any of that.
No.
And I told them, well, if they said that, they were wrong. And it has to come before the commission before we would ever do anything like that. I said, but it's even stranger is this was a lien that was not established by us. It was established by a hearings examiner, which went through the whole legal process before we ever touch it here, and all these years. And he made it clear it wasn't him, it was his father or something like that. And but so here it is in front of us. But I wanted to make it clear, I never promised them nothing. And when they tried to say that you guys promised them, I still didn't promise them nothing. I know better, and hopefully our staff would never say that we can do it, because I don't believe one commissioner could ever sign off on it anyway, even if it was their commissioner for their community. It would have to go this route, and even then, I don't remember us ever doing it before to where we forgave, something like that,
Not to that.
so.
Yeah, the information that we had given them was that they should contact their commissioners.
Yeah.
That it's not something that we were going to just do.
So what do we do to move you forward?
If there's no action you need to take, you can just say,
Okay?
yeah, just, okay, and not take any action. And then the treasurer will then release the funds to public health. And that'll be the end of it.
Well, and I can't help but wonder, if we were to forgive it, if that would not be a form of gifting a public fund.
Right.
Because it wasn't even these folks, it was their parent, or whatever, from all those years before. I think that's why Tim would say to us, probably best to stay away from it. But I don't wanna put us in any position where we look like we're gifting public funds, because it belongs to the people, it ain't mine.
All right?
Yeah, I think I gave you my okay, 'cause that's what you were asking for, so. Randy, he's looking for the words okay.
Yeah, sorry folks, but I can't ask us to give away public funds.
No, the okay is to accept the public funds.
Yeah, actually,
Or accept the payment.
Yeah, accept the payment, because I was talking to them, if they're online, I'm sorry, I can't vote to give away public funds, because it was your father.
All right. That's that one.
Do me a favor, though, double check that, we're even, because I know Tim said stay on, but ask him why, ask him if it would be a risk of that, because that's a interesting situation.
His reason was that, well, it was multiple reasons. One was that we have code enforcement issues. This is the method by which the original system was supposed to renew itself.
Yeah,
And if we forgive it, then we're degrading that system, which the system is basically at 100% degradation now because we have zero balance in that fund. And that this would be counter to the county's needs currently, which are to collect liens as we're supposed to by the code.
Just to be absolutely clear, we're authorizing the treasurer to release the funds that have been paid already to you.
No,
To-
to the-
Not to you,
Well,
but to.
like I said, this is a strange situation.
Okay.
You don't need to take any action. The treasurer doesn't normally,
yeah, I've never
Do
heard of
this,
doing this before either.
so I think this was a special accommodation that they made per the request of the people that were asking me for this. Is that they could pause it and just put it in a trust fund temporarily. So they're just awaiting your decision. If your decision is to give them a discount or cancel that, then they would be able to refund them that. But
Yeah,
if,
how odd would that be? So they pay the counties, now we have it in the county's accounts,
Mhm.
and we'll cut you back a check and give you forgiveness for what's already been paid. That seems hard to me.
Yeah, like I said, a very, very strange one, so.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's just a little youth or a little inexperience in this situation is how that came about, because I've never heard that before either.
Mhm. All right,
Because I would think, and Mike want to explain in the future, I would think the path would be to get us to agree to do something like that before holding the money back, because.
yeah, it's, like I said, it started out as we can't sell our house unless this happens. And then before I knew it, I was getting calls from title companies demanding that I sign forms and fill out letters and things, probably some of the things that you were getting. I was like, I can't do that, I'm not doing that. And then I was informed by the treasurer that they had the money and it was in a trust fund. And I was like, okay. So yeah, the situation definitely changed a lot in these past couple weeks.
Yeah.
All right. Item number 2, this is a follow-up to a topic that was brought up at the last public hearing last week, which is well water testing during real estate transactions. So,
Yeah.
Commissioner Nevlin, you had asked if it was a requirement, and it's not a requirement in either Washington State or Mason County. I checked with some of our neighboring jurisdictions. Kitsap County does have it as a actual requirement for real estate transactions, but Thurston County does not. So we're right in the middle there with them. But we do require water testing for any building permits that come in. So
And I think you put in here that generally speaking, the third party requires it, and so,
Yeah,
As a realtor, I would not ever recommend my client buy a piece of property without that addendum connected to it.
mhm.
Because you could end up with a well that is,
It's a liability.
yeah. And you can't legislate stupid.
Yeah, I would say this probably happens in like private sales that occur.
Yeah.
But for the most part, most sales, the well is tested. We have the bottles at our office, and people are coming in constantly to do those.
The super majority already, like I said, are in those forms, and it's usually asked for to be paid for by the buyer, not the seller.
Mhm.
Interesting enough, because their bank,
yeah, depending on how they negotiate.
Yeah. and their bank usually has to fund it, so it might be their bank that's required and requested. too.
Yeah, it's usually the lender that's requiring it.
Yeah. I'm good with just being, I don't wanna be more restrictive than Thurston, that's just tough on me.
The shame wouldn't be on you.
That's a hard one for me. I'd like to help these folks, but.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it from a public health perspective, there's no threat to the general public. It is an individual buyer thing. And we do a lot of public messaging to recommend that people test their wells yearly for bacteria, and every 3 years for nitrates. So the public message is out there. It's a voluntary thing. I don't think I don't think there's an outright hazard to the public by not requiring it. It's just my thoughts.
Yeah, I think status quo is actually where I would just
Yep.
don't add more regulations. And it is pretty much handled by the vast majority when you're selling. I mean, I assume you could have a handoff from, parents to children or something in something where, but then they probably already, so, I don't know. I just leave it as is.
Yeah, it's like a general home maintenance item.
The interesting thing, even though we require the septic, the truth of the matter is, they don't have to, they still don't. Cause we don't have anybody that looks at it and says, oh, you didn't do your septic, you can't, close on the home, that doesn't happen, so.
Yeah, we have about a 25 to 33% compliance rate on the septic maintenance.
Which brings up another point I have to, just kind of on that subject. The PUD cut through our septic line from the house to the thing. And we discovered it, everything backed up on us, and we did the work on it, and finally got a plumber out there to send a camera up that thing and said, well, somebody just sliced right through it. I said, "Thank you
It's like,
very
I see
much."
fiber optic lines.
Yeah. But before we did that, we had our septic system inspected, because it was like, what is causing this backup? And they came out and said, everything's great. Well, several months ago, I checked the records. There's no record of it being inspected. So, I mean, who's responsible for passing that along? That it has been inspected.
Your certified contractor is required to do it. They're supposed to do it within 30 days of the inspection. So if they haven't done that yet, you can harass them.
Okay. I just was curious, because other people might have that same kind of
They do.
situation with the,
Yeah.
it's changing your
They will for
statistics.
sure, and they have to by law if they find an issue. If they find it's filled, they have to disclose it. I'm not sure that we have any enforcement behind it.
We could do enforcement on it. We usually don't get reports of it. If someone complains and says they're failing to
No,
file a report.
I mean, if it don't fail, if they just did an inspection, is there a requirement of enforcement?
There is a requirement, and we could do enforcement. We just don't usually hear about it. The times that we'll hear about it are when the report being filed is required for them to get a rebate. That'll be oftentimes we'll hear people complaining about their contractor not turning it in.
Yeah.
But usually them harassing their contractor
Yes.
gets them to do it in that situation.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a code enforcement thing. If we had people regularly reporting that, X contractor was regularly not filing their reports, then we would take code enforcement action on that, because we hold their certification.
Yeah, ours was, they said, no, there's absolutely nothing wrong with your septic system. I said, well, it keeps backing up on you.
Which is odd, because that alone should have triggered something where they would have to turn it in.
Mhm.
Because if you're saying it's backing up, it's failed, regardless
Yeah,
of what they
That's the
find.
definition of failure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the plumber saying, I don't think you want gravel coming into this. You know, it's like, no,
Well, if
we
you would
really
like to,
don't.
if you would like to open a case, we will we will investigate
No,
law
I will,
enforcement.
I will take care of that. I
All right.
just wanted to, see what is the mechanism when that's not happening.
Yeah, it's typically 30 days as a requirement.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's all for that one. I have a third item. I don't know if we want to, wait and talk to Melissa or.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the Group B hearing that we had, I have some copies of the changes. So you had asked during the hearing, you had made a motion to have the definition changed
Yes.
to add the definition of a Group B water system and the definition of a purveyor. Doing a copy and paste of the purveyor was very straightforward because that definition is very simple.
Yep.
But if you look at page one is the definition of a Group B system in the WAC. It's in two parts. It's very messy. I was not able to, in a way that would make any sense to the general public, I was not able to copy and paste that definition. So I had to create our own definition using, large parts of the WAC definition. I had Tim take a look at this. He was good with the draft version.
You gave our definition.
Mhm.
It still fits within the legal state WAC
Mhm.
definition, but that's what we were asked for, was ours.
It's clearly
Yeah.
an effort to clarify it, because that was my
Mhm.
concern, is that,
Yep.
I mean, they get so long, nobody's gonna read it. Let's make it easier on the people and more difficult.
I think you did a
Okay.
great job. I'm perfectly happy with that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I wasn't able to strictly meet the letter of what you said, so, but if you're good with it, then we'll get Tim to do the final sign off and
I
get a
think I
copy.
said if you have to, copy and paste it. I think that was my
Okay.
actual words.
Okay,
But we're.
I'm good.
you good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we'll get a copy ready for signature to put before you then.
All right.
That's all I've got.
It was a big one. Hi.
Yes, I have one item for you regarding the Consolidated Homeless Grant, which funds our homeless crisis response system. So we are on a biennium contract, so fiscal year 26-27. We're just now at the end here of June, going to be wrapping up year one of the 2-year contracts. As a reminder, we did not award both years funding. Part of that is because Commerce didn't allocate some of the fiscal year 27 funds until just last week, I think is when you approved that amendment at the last action agenda. So we're working on amendments now for year 2, fiscal year 27 funds. Following some programmatic and fiscal monitoring, it would be our department's recommendation that we terminate the contract with the Youth Connection for fiscal year 27. It would just be in the best interest of the county to do that. Doesn't mean that we can't contract with them ever again in the future. It just means that we need to do some evaluating of the fund sources and the programs that we're funding.
And it doesn't mean a miracle can't happen and you fix it all, but
I did review this with Tim, and he reviewed the contract, and he pointed specifically to the terminate for public convenience as kind of the grounds for terminating the contract.
the only thing I would say is next time under your requested action, actually put exactly what you're asking for.
Did I? Oh, I didn't.
You did
Sorry
not.
about that. So it would be move it to the next
But-
action.
But move what?
Terminating the
Yeah, that's what-
decision to terminate the contract.
That's what I was saying, you should just put in there so it's clear for us.
What's being asked, I'm sure. Happy to answer any questions.
I know you worked hard on it, I know you've done everything you can. Hopefully they find a way to fix it all, but if not, it is what it is. Cause cannot ask you to do things that are outside the contract or outside of the things we're supposed to do. Cause we're liable.
We'll be meeting with Commerce today with
Yeah.
Youth Connection.
to
Is that
determine
gonna
there
be
are.
at your office? Or?
It's via Zoom. It's remote.
Okay. Yes.
Yep, yep.
No questions, brother? Okay.
No, you already did your work.
All right. Well, that's
You
all
know,
I
just
got.
clarify for everybody else, you did call me, you told me what was happening, you explained to me the situation. I don't have a remedy for it except for to go through the process that there is, and give you the opportunity to work it through if it can, but if not, it can't.
Okay. Just another thought that I don't want to, for the public too, is that there won't be any gaps in services from terminating the contract. Rental assistance particularly, this is following a unanimous decision from the Housing and Behavioral Health Advisory Board a few weeks ago to centralize rental assistance. So that would have been a recommendation we would have made to the board anyhow, which would go through Crossroads Housing. And then all the other programs could go into a general fund for RFP.
But if
later
you're gonna
this year.
do that, doesn't it have to come before us?
Yes, that will come when we brief the amendments.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
gonna say,
Yeah,
'cause,
yeah,
I'm
that
pretty
will
sure you
come.
We
can.
have to finish all of
Yeah.
It'll come. I will be briefing that hopefully in the next
Okay.
week or two. Okay, I have nothing else. That's all I've got.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Loretta, you are up.
Morning.
Mr. Collins.
Yes.
Morning.
Morning.
All right. Loretta Swanson, Public Works, Utilities and Waste Management. And Mike, here to talk about money.
So we have a project that's RAP funded, Rural Arterial Program funded. That's Cloqualm Road, mile 6.6 to 7.8. It's initially was just partially funded for about $532,000. They've come back to us and asked us to sign this amendment, which will fully fund it for 1.15, and with the county forces, or with the county match fund of about 310,000, I think it is. Comes out at 1.46, something like that. So that project, we'll schedule that project for next year to be constructed, so it'll be a awesome job. We'll do about half of it with county forces and contract out the other half. So these are good monies.
Supportive.
I'm supportive. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great news. And so you'll see an online amendment to the grant agreement.
Yes,
that will
online,
come to you.
e-signed
Yes.
again.
Yeah.
Heads up.
I keep getting things to sign as the chair. It's like, okay, is this one I gotta get?
Yeah, just hit her up, that's what I do. Mackenzie, did I pass this? I don't remember voting on it.
That's exactly right. It's like, I don't remember this. Was this one I signed yet? No. Yes. Okay.
That's why I just always prefer everything be on the table.
They call the program
keeps it
Simple
easier.
Smart, so, and it's not.
Over the years, there's even been stuff got on the table though that wasn't supposed to be signed. Luckily, I read all that stuff. Wish I could say I read it all. I try.
We'll send notification.
Next up,
Appreciate that.
sorry, excuse me. Next up, Commissioners, is a request to extend the current lease agreement we had extended for the Victor Improvement Club. And so we know that that's gonna come to an end here later this month, and doubtful that we'll have an offer.
I'm
and
supportive.
all that.
Keep going with what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay, great. I did want to make note, or actually one of the Victor Improvement Club members asked that we make note that one of the things that they were proposing was that for the use of the well, that the county pay for 100% of the pump replacement and not the power cost. And I think in the previous briefing document, and maybe even this one, we had noted that that's what they were
How
proposing.
much do we have a number?
For what that would be.
The replacement, yeah.
I think ballpark, probably $6,000 is a pump and pipe and wire.
Then we'd have it for in perpetuity?
The use of the well? Yes, yeah.
Make sure that we're not gifting something by doing that, but it's a little bit more, but that might be how they make up the other end from the
Right,
property. I'm
exactly.
with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. All right.
Okay.
thank you, Commissioners. We'll move that to action. And then a couple of discussion items. We have a SWAC applicant and Jeff Bickford, and he was a previous,
I was gonna say, why do I know that name?
Yeah, so Commissioners, if you just want to go straight to appointment rather than interview, he's been a SWAC member, he's
So that's where I know
very
from.
active
I don't
in
have any
solid
problem with
waste.
it, but, I mean, it is Commissioner
Yeah,
Travis.
I would say, I would normally say, but I hate changing up anything that
Sure.
I do. I try to support the commissioner that's doing that.
Yeah, it's her committee.
Can you call her?
Yeah.
If there's no objection from Commissioner Trask, I'd be supportive of moving forward.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm in the same
Alrighty.
position.
Yeah.
great.
Really?
Yeah.
Leave it up to her committee.
Okay. And then the other item, Commissioners, that I wanted to bring to your attention, we received a letter, I think a notice of an amendment to our existing permit for the Russellwood treatment plant. You may have seen that.
I did not.
I believe it came to the chair, because as owners, that's where the notice comes. But,
Yes, it actually went to Sharon. and
okay,
Then it eventually got to me
okay,
the end of last week.
Yeah, I don't,
all righty.
I was gone, so could you make sure you forward it to me?
Yeah.
What's the gist of it though?
It's the Puget Sound nutrient grant, or the Puget Sound nutrient reduction requirements. So this is something that we've thoroughly been expecting. The additions to our current permit are preparation of basically monitoring the plant and then preparing a plan for any additional nutrient reduction. We received a grant from Ecology 2 years ago to basically complete this work. So we've already completed 2 of the items that they're writing into the permit. So it's not an additional cost to us.
It's not an issue or nothing we have to worry about then?
No.
Okay.
I handed it off to Carrie Ann to enter it in as a correspondence, so
Okay.
we have it on file if you
Okay.
want to look at it.
Yeah. So.
Or
but-
I'll give you the hard copy.
But did want to let you know that we will and have continued some additional monitoring of effluent as a result of the permit, and it's not creating any substantial financial impact to the utility. So that's it, and happy to answer any other questions you might have about that. Otherwise, we'll simply go through the process. So it's out for public review and comment right now. And then once the comment period closes, Ecology will summarize and issue the new permit.
Okay?
Yep.
I'm supportive.
Okay. And that's, I think, all we have.
All right.
I've got a couple of things.
Okay, go ahead.
No,
Okay, I just want to kind of where we are, what's coming up. Granite's coming to pave FML Pass, and it's going to be starting on June 8th, so it'll be up in that area. The Blevins Evergreen Estates water line extension is 85% completed. Larson water line replacement, the contractor's going to start June 17th. Up there, so it'll be traffic issues because we're right in the middle, and they're gonna be right in the middle of the road at that intersection and replacing the line in all 4 different directions. But they have a plan, so that should be good. Lakeside's out here on Coquitlam Road with our HSIP project. They're paving shoulders and replacing guardrail. And it should be done probably a couple weeks. It'll be completed, so that project will be done. And then we've been doing pavement repairs all over the place. Highland, Coquitlam, Deegan. Ford Road, south of Coquitlam, everywhere. So, and the speed display signs are in for SR 106 and 302. So we know where to go on 106. On 302, the agreement from WashDOT says we have to do it in either area, the 40-mile-an-hour area or the 40-mile-an-hour area, not the 25-mile-an-hour area, because that's a temporary. They said we can't put them there. So,
okay. Well, I'll meet with Dave, and that's my fault, because I'll meet with Dave, we'll take him out to
Exactly.
Victor, people, we'll look at those and do the best we can to make it work
so
within
when we
it.
get that set up, we'll be ready to do
I
it.
had to leave for a few days, so.
So, yep. That's it.
Okay.
All right, a couple of things. You already hit me on the thing of Victor and the one for 106. When do you expect it to be in about?
I told the sign crew to start working at 106 and get that set up first.
But I mean about when?
It should be next week.
Next week? Yep. This is Larson and Larson, I believe. Take a look.
Yep, see that.
If you can, send somebody out there before it starts ripping a tire or something on the side. It was funny because one lady was complaining, they never have done it in all these years. I thought it was new construction. Well, I was talking hypothetically. Yeah, right. Tell the people that we never are there for you. But yeah, it's brand new road. It just happened. Got that taken care of. So if you could send somebody out there, I'd very much appreciate it. And the other thing is, I just received a letter of note. And I also got contacted from a while back. These folks on Cedar Street, they have a speed bump. Do we have anything on Cedar Street?
No,
I didn't think so.
no.
I remembered us having a discussion about that years ago, and there was nothing, so we have nothing, we don't get, and I'll let them know myself, but she did not put a phone number on here. We do not get involved with, HOAs, we do not get involved with, your personal agreements, that's a civil situation and not anything with the county. We do not have an association for you to contact, and we don't have a group that's gonna stand up and do the mediation for you. It's all on you.
I did prepare a response Friday and made it clear that I wasn't speaking on behalf of commissioners, but from my perspective, basically,
I'm okay with you speaking on behalf of the commissioners on this. We don't get involved on personal stuff. It's a gifting of public funds if we spend our funds to do work on their road.
I did make note of, 3 years ago or 4 years ago when Commissioner Trask gathered homeowners associations together to talk about issues like this and other things, and said that she might want to reach out to other associations
The problem
to
you have
see
with
if they
with that
have
is I've done that over and over
similar-
again. The only problem you have is they all shift every few years.
Yes.
And it's gotten to the point to, I used to go and teach them all, because they'd all say, we don't know what we're doing.
Right.
And the first thing I explained to them is, if you ran your last folks out on a pole, they're gonna run you out on a pole next. They were good people, they came in, they thought they were saving their community, just like the next people that come after you are gonna think that they're good people and saving the community. I said, that's just the way it works. So,
All right.
years ago, we actually had the HOAs working with us to do the code enforcement. And that's where that started, but then we started doing some great work, and then they all got ran out. Angrily ran out of every different part of their communities. Then we tried to work with the next ones before we can get even established, they were run out. It's just, there were tough ones back then. I don't hear much anymore, but that's probably because not a single one left that I worked with from back in those days. That's all I had was those things.
Okay.
And you know, I still have not received a single phone call from anybody in Fern at all. It must have done something up there by the park and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I haven't received not even one, and it's that time of year.
Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Silence is good.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great week.
Keep me in the loop on what we do on that road on Larson, so I can let them know.
Got it.
Oh, and make sure, Loretta,
Yes.
you and I still need to talk. I need to find out what we decided to do on Wheelwright. Was it done? Has it been done? Because we never connected like it's supposed to. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Kelly.
Good morning.
And who are all of you people?
Mackenzie Smith, clerk of the board.
Kelly Fraser, facilities manager.
Tanessa Knoll, grant writer.
Thank you.
I guess I'll start. So the first item is the 2025 open space applications. 8 were received, so the applications are submitted to the assessor's office, who will send them over to community development for review. At this time, there's 8 applications. 7 are recommended for approval and 1 is not.
was looking, which one is not?
Looks like the application number is 2504. The request is for a 1 acre home site, but there's no development rights to give up.
So if the property's not buildable, it's hard to give up that buildable rights in order to get a discount further on your property.
Gotcha. Okay. So a few of these have, you know, 2 asterisks saying, yes, wooded area extends beyond the stream setback, conditioned on no additional clearing and no structures of any kind. How do we verify that's, you know, I mean, is anybody checking that, or do we monitor that at all?
That's a great question.
So this is a conditional yes?
Historically, what I've seen is they will monitor it later on. The assessors will pay attention to it when they go out there. Because I only know that because there's been a few times where they found stuff that shouldn't be. And then it was brought back to us. So I would assume that means that they are.
And then we remove that designation if they violate this conditional?
There has been a few times where we've removed them over the years, so I know that too.
Okay. One of those times a paper copy would be helpful, but scanning back and forth.
Well, this is also your first time, I think, really dealing with it, so take the time you need.
Yeah, we did last year.
Yeah, but it was in the beginning, I mean, if you really,
Yeah,
you gotta a little bit of slack.
Yeah.
That stuff just starts being thrown at you back then. And actually, I appreciate that he's taking it serious, because I've found other ones that never did, didn't care. So, take all the time you need, for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm good with that. That was really the only question I ran into. It's like, how do we check up on this conditional?
I'm trying to remember if they do it every so many years that they recheck it, or what. I may be speaking out of turn because it's been a long time, but I think that they check it every so many years, that they actually, almost like they have to reapply or something, that it gets re-looked at or something. But just if you don't mind, ask the assessor and they can
Yeah, absolutely.
let us know on the next one.
Other than that, I'm good with it.
Okay.
Am I up next?
Sorry, Kell.
So, that's all right. So before you, As you know, the historical grant has come to ask us to put in a grant there, actually begging us to do something for the courthouse. Me and Tanessa and Patty McGuire sat down. We would like to potentially get a washer in the courthouse, preserve the outside of the courthouse. They just did that at the Capitol.
I was wondering when we were gonna be looking at that, cause I was looking at the outside of our building.
So what I'm looking for is, we have an architect on contract already. Would like to go to them so they can go out, because we gotta get the bids, we gotta get everything we need before we can go for the grant. I just wanna make sure that our I's are dotted, our T's are crossed when we go after this. And since we already have them on board, I'd like them to go out and at least give us the hand to get the right person, the right contract to get that done. I think our chances are probably very well to get this grant. I think once we get that, we can put that in there. If not, this definitely goes under REIT. We could use this as a REIT project funding. Usually it's a 30% match. Is that where it is?
It's 25 to 100%.
So if 100% match is not much of a grant.
But no, I'm supportive of it. I think it's necessary. I just noticed that the prayer thing they had out there, it's getting pretty thick
Yeah.
in places.
We had it done I'm thinking about 15 years ago, after the little earthquake we had and where they found some cracks and stuff. They had that company come in and do it. But they just had the Capitol done. Patty got some info on that, so I'd like to move forward, but
We don't have the money the state does, so let's not go crazy and follow them, but.
No, I get that.
I'm supportive. Let's see what we can do, because even if it needs to be looked at anyway.
Okay, that's why I wanted to bring this forward, and Patty's gonna consider, I'll get with Helix, I'll see what they can do for us. They will charge us, I would have assumed, by the hour at the beginning, and then once we get to bed, we'll general it ourselves or whatever.
Well, we can pay for the consulting part of it can we pay for that out of REIT as well?
Yes, correct, Jen?
I believe so.
Yes. I did go over and talk to Jen. But yeah, we should be, we've done that consulting before out of that REIT. And we've got them on there right now for Building 11, so, okay, that's all I had.
I had one thing for you. I got a phone call from Charles Rhodes, and I don't know anything about this, and I would think I would if we were. Are we moving their storage stuff somewhere?
I have not touched our storage stuff. There is a vault in courtroom 204 that he's aware of, that when the district court moved out, Charles got the whole third floor of the jail. So I need to get that stuff out of the 204 vault up to there. We've talked about that. I can go over and talk to him again.
Yeah, go over and talk to him about that again, please. I think that's what he was talking about, because I think they use that for their stuff they have stuff they have to use right now, and stuff like that, and that's there. The other stuff going upstairs and going to get it and go through those catacombs up there is a little harder. So if you don't mind, sit and talk with him again, and, because I didn't know anything about that.
It's an extra floor. I mean, the organizational part would be definitely on them. I would help get this stuff up there.
Yeah.
But if we're gonna do a remodel on 204 to turn that into offices, that's gonna have to be done, absolutely.
On 204. I'll try to remember that and see myself.
Okay,
Yeah,
I will go talk to him
Please
today.
go talk to him.
Yep,
And keep
okay.
him fully involved.
On the courthouse grant, we will also need a letter of support from the board.
Put it on.
Okay, I forgot that part.
Kelly.
Good thing she's there. That's it. Thank you.
You've been waiting all day.
Some of these guys have the timing down a lot better than I do. That'll come with experience. Good morning. Tammy Kell, Emergency Management Coordinator. I just have one item for you this morning, and that is the Washington State Homeland Security Region 3 Omnibus Agreement. This agreement has already been reviewed by Tim Whitehead. He reviewed and signed it, and so we are putting this out for action for you guys to approve and execute the agreement. Homeland Security Region 3 is Thurston, Grays, Lewis, Pacific, and Mason. All the other counties have signed on to this. And it's basically, so omnibus, I had to look it up. What does omnibus even mean? But it's basically just includes all things. Just providing for us to be able to get mutual aid quickly.
Yep.
Sorts out all the details so that those don't have to be sorted out one time is of the essence.
And opens up money for emergency management.
Yeah, so the agreement does allow for the first 8 hours with all of our region partners to be included at no cost, which would be the same, like if they were to ask us for mutual aid, we would provide it the first 8 hours. And then after that, anything would need to be agreed on.
Good.
Okay, wonderful.
You stayed all this time.
Oh no, that's okay. It's informative. It's educational, and so it's interesting to see a lot of these people. I know their names, but I don't know the faces. So, getting to put faces with names is beneficial. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing this for, asking everybody.
And I gave mine right up front. So.
No. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem.
It's actually more for the public and somebody watching this later.
Yeah, no, I can see that. Well, wonderful. Thank you for your support in that. I'm very happy that Mason County gets to sign on to that. We're the last ones, so we'll make it join the club. So, all right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and we'll see you on Wednesday.
That's the plan. If you saw my schedule for Wednesday, you'd be like, I don't know.
In and out, whatever you can do.
Yeah. And who are you?
Jennifer Byerly, Budget and Finance Manager. And I'll share my screen. Okay, so I am sharing with you the April 2026 financials compared to April of 2025. So beginning with the current expense revenue, we have through April received $17,686,283. At this point last year, we had received $16,975,609. We're at 37% of our budgeted revenue received this year compared to 38% last year.
But still slightly ahead of the benchmark.
Yeah, I mean, the benchmark is just,
Yeah, but
1/12,
yeah.
so it's never going to be perfect.
It's 8 1/4 or 8 1/3% per month.
So the treasurer's revenue is next, and we have received through April of this year $12,852,519. Last year we received $12,307,929 for the same period. We're at 41% of our budget this year and 41% last year. For current expenditures, we have expended $19,589,917 this year through April, and last year we had expended $17,827,767. And it looks like a lot more this year, but we did have that upfront payment to the risk pool that I mention every month. So the special fund, and go ahead and stop me anytime along the way if you'd like.
Did you turn these, normally they're bigger, turn them sideways on some of these and I can't.
Oh, I send them, they're sent to the clerk to,
Landscape.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
if they would
I'll ask my
condemn-
people to turn it sideways so I can see them a little bit more.
Okay.
Even with my glasses, it's getting harder and harder.
So the special revenue streams comparison through April, we are showing community development, and that's down over the last few years. I am going to brief along with community development. They're planning on June 15th, the projected revenue through the end of the year.
Are you gonna separate out, this, we don't add a whole bunch to it, but separate out that stuff that's coming from all their revenue generation compared to monies that were,
I believe that's what they're doing
Yeah,
with
thank
it, yeah.
you know, you can see why that'd be
Yeah.
important right now.
The current expense, the property taxes are slightly higher than they were at this point last year. Road diversion property tax is higher since we increased it to 2.18 million from $1,080,000 last year. Road property taxes correspond with that. They're slightly down over last year because we diverted more this year. The current expense sales tax is up over the last 5 years. The criminal justice taxes and entitlements is up. And then other taxes are up. The rural sales and use tax fund. Filings are up. Lodging tax is up over last year. Last year we had a big refund, the Department of Revenue did, and so that's why last year looks a little skewed on the lodging tax, or a little bit less.
If you step back to that previous filing, so the homeless services, that was basically ARPA funds that were coming in?
No, this is the community services homelessness prevention filings. Every time there's a recording done, a portion of that recording goes to that fund, 117.
It just was pretty high, 2021, it dropped 2022, bottomed out 23, now it's kind of starting to climb back up.
So I'm not positive on this, but I know our interest rates were a lot lower back then. And so I think a lot of people refinanced, and so there were a lot more recordings done. That would be my guess, but I'm not positive. And then REIT is slightly down over the last few years, but
Yeah, but it's more than slightly, 11.5% is a big amount. I'm just saying that to say it's scary, it's starting to scare me. just
Well,
so you know.
like I mentioned a while
Yeah.
back, the inventory of homes that are out there is at a record level, so
Yeah.
you're gonna have a hard time getting the same amount, and there's not gonna be a lot more new homes.
Yeah.
It's gonna cut into new homes, which is gonna hit us at all of these different levels.
so the sales tax collected through April is $3,174,000, and in April we received $740,800, and that is about $60,500 higher in April than last year in April. So each month we have received a little bit more than we did in the prior year's same time period. So,
You skipped a page on me, or I lost track. So I was looking at that previous page on my report, which is the specific revenue streams. And you jumped into sales tax, but I'm not tracking where you're coming up with your numbers.
So each month, we show January, February, March, and April of 2026. So in April, we received $740,799.
Yeah.
And then the total at the bottom, the total collected revenue, $3,173,985
Okay,
through April.
Yeah, so that's a significant drop from last year.
No, it's higher than last year. it's higher by a total of.
So the 10,600,000 from last year is the total for the entire year.
Yes, because
Okay.
we received that amount, we received the amount monthly, so,
Okay, yeah, I got it.
oh,
I just-
okay.
And just tracking a total line, and when I look at that same line, it's like, last year was 10, this one's 6, it's like, wait.
Yeah, I can see where that would be deceiving. Each year we just
Yeah, I
populate
get
it.
that.
Okay.
It kind of needs to be a subtotal line from my perspective, because it's not actually the year-end total.
Yeah.
We don't have that, obviously, for 2026.
So the 6-year financial recap, so we have in April, at the end of April, $22,457,967 in cash in the general fund. The 25% operating reserve is $12,708,992, and that's 25% of the prior year's total expenditures in the general fund.
So the 400,000, did we move revenue also over, under the IT?
So the technology replacement reserve, we moved that to IT, and we put it at 100,000 in the
So we changed it
operating.
from 400 to 100? I
Yes.
remember us having the conversation for moving it. I do not remember us having the conversation for dropping it. But still, my other question is actually different than that, though. We can get to that here in a little bit. My question is did we also move over the revenue? But we wouldn't have if you dropped it down to 100. We didn't move over the 400. So what we did is we changed $300,000 in revenue that was a reserve and now call it cash.
We just moved it to 100,000 under the IT fund, and we did discuss it during last year when we adopted the resolution 2025-067 in the IT fund, because we already budget the computers under each department. They pay for their own computers, and so I didn't see any need to reserve.
Okay, well, I
A
remember
total amount.
my argument at the time when we did it and why it's still there. If we have one of the big hits, it's gonna need to be able to cover everybody and everything. But again, I'll go back and I'll look at those meetings, because I remember we started to talk about just moving it. I don't remember us talking about moving completely the actual, taking away 75% of the reserve. But also, my question that I'm having though is, did we also, we would have only put it 100,000, we'd even take the 100,000 and put it in now as part of it, or we just wipe away $400,000 reserve?
So the 400,000 was just kind of an arbitrary number that I had put into the budget for that reserve. So
Some
it
years
wasn't
ago.
based on anything, so that's why we had
Well,
moved it down.
But it was based on us deciding that we wanted that number too. And it was us deciding that we wanted it based on what the commission felt were some of the needs for the future if they were to happen. It wasn't just a nothing number. You may have made the recommendation of it, but it was passed and put into place with a belief from the commissioners at the time of why we were doing it.
Okay, I mean, we can put it back if the commission wants to
I'm
put it
trying to
back.
just figure it out there, because I want to go back and want to make sure that we all agree that we're going to lower that reserve, because I don't
We need to
remember.
look at those meetings, because I remember a discussion about it, but
Yeah, I remember saying we're gonna move the thing, that was the discussion I remember, but not, and even still, I would figure we were just moving the reserve over to another line, so there still should be 400,000 that comes and gets put into that reserve, obviously, for moving it.
we'll have to go back and
Yeah.
check that.
So I'll go back and watch it. If you have any heads up for time frame, it was in our last one, you said, the last budget meeting that was?
This was passed last year. I believe it was sometime, the time frame would have been like April, May, June, but I don't remember exactly.
April, May, June.
Yeah, most likely June.
Thank you.
We should be able to search for
Yeah.
If we take out all of our, I did add in here too, real quick, the different reserves for historical preservation, community development, prisoner welfare and sheriff donations to match our reserve policy. And so if you remove all of our reserves from the $22,457,967, at the end of April, we have unreserved cash of $1,040,450. So the revenues at the end of April are again we're at 37% of our total budget for 2026 in the general fund. Expenditures are at 34%. And the special fund cash balances are a total of $74,579,275. The motor pool budget is a total of $1,944,215 this year. We have spent through April $509,793. At this time last year, we had expended $549,918. And I'll be briefing the rates in June, in this month, June 15th. And it looks like they're going to be pretty flat with this year. So, so that is working out really well. So I'll be bringing forward to the comparison of ER&R and motor pool.
Have you been able to contact the WASAC competitor to Enterprise?
I did not contact them.
Okay. Last WASAC meeting, WASAC is developing a competitive they contracted with a company to compete with other things for the same type of things, and they made a big deal. It's like, whatever you got, if you need helicopters or tanks or whatever, we'll finance whatever. But they're trying to make a revenue stream to reduce the membership dues for counties.
Yeah.
They can't quite put it all into action yet until they have to form a for-profit portion to take in money before they can start doing that. But their goal is to reduce the fees that each county pays and bolster their revenue for lobbying through doing other.
For those that haven't done it, it could be a big thing. For us, all those counties need to thank us because Mason County was the one that actually broke through the ceiling to get it because we couldn't get patrol. Once we got the patrol, we made the deal for everybody. It opened it up. But we also need to keep in mind that they also have the sellback provision. So we'll watch that as they come forward. I'll be curious to see what they do.
Yeah, I don't.
A bargain is a bargain. I don't care if we save 100,000 here, we save 100,000.
Absolutely. And if it drops
keeps our rate going up even. That's
a good thing. So
I'm curious.
They're doing that. They're doing that actually a lot of different avenues, but that's one.
Yeah, it would be difficult for us to go to a different leasing company at this point in time.
It may not work out.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we always have the reserve in case they leave us or something like that happens too. For the leasing, for the cars.
Looking at the reserve policy, it was signed on October 28th of 2025, which is much later than I thought it was. I thought I remembered us doing that earlier in the year.
Yeah. Well, the other comment on that, Enterprise, anytime we get competition, it keeps everybody honest.
Okay, so moving on to the special funds revenue. We have received through April $17,478,505 compared to last year, the same time frame, $18,948,967. We're at 29% of our budget this year compared to 33% last year. And those are never going to be perfectly comparable in the special funds. So that's why it's off more so than in the general fund.
I haven't caught up with you yet. Special fund expenditures.
Now we're on the expenditures. If you want me to go over the revenue again, I can.
No, I need to, I have to zoom in on some of this stuff, so it's. Yeah. All right, go ahead, I'll review it later.
Okay, the expenditures for the special funds, we have expended this year $13,091,125. And last year, we had expended $15,169,526. We're at 17% of our budgeted expenditures this year compared to 22% last year. And the last page of the financials, the county debt, at the end of April of this year, we have $14,511,586 in debt, in total debt. So any questions or anything else that you want me to follow up on?
Just something to share with Pat, historical wise, the REIT, it is bad enough that we're looking at 11.5% this year. But I've seen this before, and it's not this year that I'm as worried about. If you go back 3 years to our height, this is a 33% decrease overall. That I've seen before. I hope I'm not seeing it again, but I just want to warn us that that is, something's happening. And then here's the saddest part about that, as I can tell you as a realtor and somebody that went through that, you don't know until all of a sudden it hits. We can plan all we want, but when the world changes on us, we just have to respond to it.
Yeah, well, some of the things that are happening at the state level are driving people out of the state, and that's hurting us locally.
I bet you that ain't helping, because I know people are leaving because of it, so I bet you that's less people coming in because of it too.
Most likely.
I'll be interested to see what the realtors say coming up here soon. But that's a big shift over 2 years, 33%. Now, we did have a shift on how we collected it, but I think that was at that time, right? So that year, I think that first year was the year we had the biggest amount.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it was
Yeah, so that,
during that time frame.
so that's not actually better for us, that's actually worse.
Yeah.
So this is the new numbers with the new way of collecting it. Used to be simpler, 1.78%, now it's tiered.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I think that's all I have on my list, unless you have anything else.
No, the only question I have is if we have any follow-up conversation based on the wake boat hearing that we had last week.
So what do you say we put together a citizen committee? Just, the decisions are still gonna be ours.
Yep.
And we're still gonna have to carry the weight. But
No,
maybe we
I'd
can-
love to get both sides in the room, plus some of these experts or scientists, you know. We've got, I'm sure that the gentleman at Island Lake,
Yep.
the biologist, would
Yep.
love to be involved in that. Plus, there was another gentleman, I can look up the notes.
What do you think we could do, wanna keep it limited and keep it a little small, like 2, and 2, 4, 2 against 2 tech, or 3, or?
I would do 3 and 3, 2.
3, 2 technical?
Mhm.
Okay, I'm good with that. We want to go by districts or just put them forward?
Districts would be probably the best way, that's why I was thinking 3, 3.
I'm good with that.
You know, 3, 4, 3 against.
So I think
one from each
we have an
district.
agreement, I'm gonna go by districts, 3, and 3, or 3, and then 2 technical.
And those don't have to be by district.
Yeah.
That's my,
And the question is how to figure out which ones will be for or against it. We'll just have to take them and just look at them and think the best way we can to do it. So no restriction on,
And take their word for it.
yeah. Hopefully we get some people that don't have a dog in the fight.
Do you want applications for those to
Yes.
interview for them?
Yeah. Because we're gonna have to pick from our districts.
Do we have to do interviews, or can we just do it by?
We could just look at them and do it if we want.
I think so.
The reason why the interview started years ago, especially like the planning commission, you had a group that was trying to take it over to stop construction. And so we had to make sure that we had some back and forth.
And I would recommend we make this like a one-time deal. It's not a,
Yeah. Agreed.
we resolve this and.
And I don't think we need an action, we just give you permission to go out to the papers right away, and then we'll put it on our agenda as well. But they can go out immediately to make some requests.
Do you have any preference for the amount of times they meet, or any other special instructions that you want to go along with it, or?
Maybe in the beginning, the first month, at least 2 times, if not 3.
I would guess
Because it'd be
3.
nice to have something from them by the time we come back. We could always table it again for another month or 2, but
Okay. No problem, we can get that put together.
yeah.
Thank you.
I forgot about that, so I'm glad you brought that forward.
That's why I said, thanks for the reminder.
I think it was handled pretty well overall. People were very cordial about how they handled it.
Eventually.
Yeah.
What else? I can't think of anything other than
I don't think I have.
very successful Forest Festival Parade. I don't think, were you in the parade, Eric?
I was.
You were in there?
I was in everything. It's-
The auditor
it's my
was in there?
sunburn.
Yeah. We had quite a crew for the America 250. You know, I think we counted like 28 people walking with us, and it was, we were handing out flags. We handed out like
Actually,
500
I heard
flags.
you guys handed out a quality size and everything. That's what that people were telling me, that they actually felt like they were getting something cool instead of just a little pin flag. You guys gave out decent flags.
Yeah, we gave out a lot of them.
That's actually pretty awesome. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I love when our people love our country. It drives me crazy when they don't.
We could have given out twice as many easily. Yeah. It was just, we just ran out. But it was great having a lot of people handing out the flags, and
That is
the
pretty special.
kids loved it. They were like, oh, awesome. So, that's all I can.
I would love to have our country come back to the fact where people really love us again, our own selves. We have our own hatred issues, which just drives me crazy. What is it they said? The only form of government worse than ours is everybody's.
Yeah.
Ours is not perfect, but it's still the best there is.
I think it's democracy is the worst form of government besides all the others.
Yeah.
All right, I have.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn.
All right, seconded. We are adjourned.